Yo, what is up you guys? Welcome back to another vlog. So today we are going to be tinting the headlights on the Toyota Supra. Now at the end of this video, I will be telling you guys the specific brand that I'm using today. I get this question all the time on all of the videos that I've posted time lapse of me tinting headlights and taillights, is what brand it is that I use. I do not answer those questions just because it's absolutely my favorite brand ever. This is my money maker, you guys, meaning that I charge about $60 a headlight to go ahead and tint them. I mean, it's $120, and it doesn't take me very long to tint these. So when you guys watch the video today, I'll probably have maybe about 10 minutes into tinting these headlights. And yeah, you guys will actually be able to see how the material works and stuff like that. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and clean the surface of the area really quickly, meaning we're going to clay bar it. From there, we'll go ahead and give it a quick wipe down with some alcohol, and we'll go ahead and start tinting. Let's get it. All right, guys, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and give it a spray with some water and soap. Have a brand new clay bar right here. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that all of the leftover contaminants from the dirt, just little stuff like that that gets left on the headlight is off of it, just so we don't have any type of bubbles. Should be good. After this, I'm going to go ahead and grab my alcohol and a rag, and we're going to clean this really quickly. All right, guys, now that I have my alcohol, we're going to go ahead and give it a quick mist. Brand new rag, meaning it's very clean. Don't want a dirty rag, anything like that. Now from here, we do want to make sure that, because this specific headlight does have rubber trim, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my squeegee really quickly. Or you can use a credit card. And then I'm basically just going to go ahead and wrap it in the rag and make sure everything's nice and clean. All right, guys, so I have my hard squeegee. Place it in just like that. And from here, we're going to go ahead and just gently glide it across the rubber trim. We have a little bit of dirt, as you guys can see. From here, we're going to go ahead and move the rag just a little bit so we don't put the dirt again in the rubber trims. You guys can see it's still very dirty. So now from here, I'm going to go ahead and give it one final wipe down with some alcohol, and then we're going to go ahead and cut out our piece of tint. Actually, before I actually start, I'm going to go ahead and mask off the fender really quickly. And basically what this is going to do is prevent the tint from actually sticking to the fender. Just so that this way I don't have any issues when that's if I have to pick it up. And also when I trim, I don't have any issues pulling it off of the fender. Should be fine. All right, guys, so I went ahead and cut out my piece already. So now keep in mind on the other side of this backing paper, it does have like a grid. So this way you can get the exact measurements of your headlight and pretty much just trace it. And you'll have like the exact measurements versus buying the overpriced pre-cut vinyls from other wrap places. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull the backing paper off from this corner and pretty much just work it along, just like the way that I wrapped the door. So let me go ahead and get this started. All right, guys, so as you guys can see, it's a very flat, it's kind of round actually. But anyways, the way that I'm going to go ahead and start this is I'm going to go ahead and make a locking point right here from the middle. So now I know that I'm able to pick it up with no issue, but before I do, I'm going to go ahead and grab my, my heat gun before I get started really quickly, so I'm prepared. All right, guys, so I have my heat gun. So now basically what I'm going to do is pretty much lift it up to where I locked it in at, just like that. So now I'm going to hold it up with one hand and heat with the other. From here, I'm going to go ahead and give it a light pull. Bam, and just like that, you guys can see I already went ahead and glassed the majority of the headlight. So now with this specific type of tint, you guys do not need a water install. I've worked with Vivid, Oracle, China brands, and it's nothing compared to this specific brand. So I'm going to go ahead and glass this side really quickly. Actually, before I do, I'm going to go ahead and squeegee this side. And you guys can see the air release works very good. Let me move the camera so you guys can get a better angle. All right. So I got a wrinkle right here. So now with that stretch, it actually made my wrinkles fall in an even way to where I can pull them down. So just like this. And like I said, you guys, the air release on this is very good. You guys can see that it's very similar to like 3M or Avery. So now that this whole side is locked in, we're going to go ahead and come over here. We'll lift it up, just like that. Hold it, and we're going to heat. Ooh, I did get a crease, but it'll actually come out with the heat gun, just like that. So now from here, you guys can see where my creases are. Now that they fell like this from that stretch, I'm going to go ahead and pull them up. The headlight is a little bit loose. I should have tightened a little bit more. But now from here, since it does have that stretch, it should actually form right back with the heat. Just like that. Perfect. You guys always want to remember when you stretch something as far as vinyl, it always wants to retract when it's exposed to heat. That is if it is stretched. So now one tip I will tell you guys is that you guys do not want to put your fingers inside of the, just where the headlight tint is, because there's always a chance of it grabbing like a fingerprint. And the only time you'll actually see it is when the headlights are on at night. But just keep that in mind. And the specific tint that I'm using right now, the shade, is actually a medium tint. So it goes by light, medium, and dark. And just like that, the headlight is finished. So now, like I said, the good thing is that you guys don't have to use water for this. It's just a pain in the ass using water because there's always a chance of it not exactly grabbing the headlight, and then it'll end up creasing. So, and then another good thing is that since this is very tacky, once we actually once we heat it, we are able to go ahead and do a flush cut around the headlight. And now what I'm doing right now is I'm just locking in all of the corners so that this way I can do a flush cut. And now from here we trim. So now from here we're going to go ahead and make sure we have a fresh blade. So I'm going to go ahead and break this one off. And we're going to go ahead and do a flush and careful cut around the headlight. Very carefully. And the way that I have my, my blade angled is away from the headlight because you do not want to dig into it. And then you're cutting very lightly so that this way you don't dig into the rubber trim. And then from here, we're going to lightly pick up the vinyl so that this way we don't cut into that rubber trim, and cut this piece off. So now you always want to remember where you cut, because if I went ahead and pulled it, I would have tore it just like this. But versus me pulling up and knowing what to do, some people would actually pull it down, and then from there you'd have to go ahead and rewrap the headlight, which is something that we don't want. So from here, also always use like a nail. You can use your nail, or you can use a hard squeegee, just to make sure that everything's pushed in and away from the trim. And bam, just like that, the headlight's pretty much finished. Last thing to do is to go ahead and grab the heat gun, or if you're using a torch in this case, you are able to use a torch with this, but just be very careful. In this case, we're just gonna use the heat gun, and we're going to go ahead and go around all the edges just to make sure everything's nice and stuck on there, and basically nothing's lifting. All right, guys, so now that the headlight's done, so I'll go ahead and take you guys off tripod, and I'll go ahead and show you guys details and up close of the headlight. All right, guys, so you guys can see the edge is nice and clean. There's no leftover vinyl or tint like that. Looks very clean. And yeah, you guys seen how easy it was to install? All right, guys, so now that you guys went ahead and seen me use the headlight film, it is time for me to go ahead and show you guys my secret and let you guys know what brand it is that I'm using. So the specific brand that I've been using for about 2 years now is called Luke's Light Wrap. I'll go ahead and put the link down below, or I'll make sure to put it in the description as well for you guys. But yeah, you guys seen how easy the install was. If you guys wanna see the before and after up close, here you guys go. You guys can see, obviously, it is a little bit darker. Also, I wanted to show you guys, because in this case, when you guys remove taillight tint and headlight tint, it actually leaves quite a bit of residue. But I've had this film on my personal car for about 1.5 years, and it has not left any type of residue below. I always swap out my headlight tint about like every 2 years or so, but I do it at 1.5 years just to be safe. So let me go ahead and show you guys. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, you just installed it. It's not gonna leave any glue line. Yes, you're right. But either way, it's very easy to take off. This is if you guys get a ticket or something like that. Bam, back to normal. All right, guys, now you guys see me take off the tint, that is going to be it for this video. I really hope this gave you guys a little bit more detail of what it is and the brands that I use. Hopefully that you guys are able to use them. You guys can actually purchase this light tint at their website, so be sure to check them out. They're very actually well known in the Mopar scene. They do quite a bit of like Dodge Challengers and Chargers and stuff like that. So. But yeah, if you guys are wondering why I took it off, my customer didn't want the tint. I told him just for letting me do the video, I would go ahead and put a clear bar on his headlights just to go ahead and protect them. But yeah, that being said, you guys, be sure to smash that thumbs up button and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.